It's good to have you join us again for your favorite program. This is Close Flow coming to you from NTA2 Lagos Network Center. And ever and always, it's our delight to know that you are there waiting patiently for us to again unveil a distinguished Nigerian who is speaking to us about the status of our country. So who are we going to unveil today? Who are we going to be sharing our time and our moment with? Who are we going to be, as it were, querying about some of your own fears or your expectations on how our nation is being managed? Our guest is a self-motivated, digitech savvy, confident building, vastly experienced, hardworking medic. He is also somebody who is, in terms of soft skills, is a good listener, a good speaker, a very articulate and patient individual. Now, what will he be speaking about today? We'll be looking at some of the things that, especially this city or this state called Lagos, where everybody seems to say to ourselves, this is the melting pot for the entire nation, Nigeria, and also the main Congress point for the sub-region of West Africa. So who is this fellow that we are talking to today? He used to be the pioneer doctor at the Fakot Primary Medical Health Care Center. He used to be the pioneer member of the Lagos State Emergency Service way back in 2010. That's about almost 15 years now. Pioneer head of Lagos State Ambulance Service. Pioneer general manager, disaster manager for Lagos. Pioneer head of doctors responsible for the evacuation of Lagos State government patients for overseas treatment. And of course, disaster manager coordinator of state response during Ebola outbreak. That's quite a massive responsibility that we're looking at here. And this is a young man. Well, I will call him a young man because after all, he's still looking young and he's still looking very, very dashy. So we'll be looking at disaster management in Lagos State and of course his own contributions to disaster management outside of Lagos State, Ogun State for instance, Edo State for instance, as far as Borno State even. That's what we'll be looking at this morning. So stay with us as we bring to you this distinguished Nigerian who has actually pioneered the management of disasters and difficult situations in Lagos State. Stay with us.
Hey beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight.
Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more. Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still Close Flow coming to you from NTA2 Lagos Network Center. And we have already highlighted some of the things we're going to be looking at. But let us also just quickly look at the fact that, illegal fuel depot, for instance, is that part of emergency management? Illegal electric connection? Infrastructural deficiencies and defectiveness, probably in housing in Lagos. So let me welcome on your behalf onto Close Flow this morning, Dr. Oluwafemi Damilola Oke Osanyitolu, the GM, Director General,
and Chief Executive
Officer, Lagos State Emergency Management
Agency.
You're welcome to Close Flow.
Good morning.
You're looking dashy this morning. What's happening? 767. Where did that one come from?
That's the emergency number of Lagos State. 767-112 is the key for you to enter our emergency stroke disaster management network.
Did you create that? Is that a dedicated line?
It is a dedicated line. It was created by the Lagos State government.
And it's just dedicated for that purpose, that you can reach that.
Is the key to enter our emergency stroke disaster management network in the state.
When you from anywhere in Lagos?
Anywhere in Lagos State. If you call us,
if you're in Badagry, you can call that number and you get.
Definitely. If you are in Badagry, if you are in if you are anywhere in Lagos and you call our 112 or 767, is the key to enter our emergency stroke disaster management network.
Okay, now let's know what's emergency. Let's know
now, the basic thing. Now, before I need to quickly expatiate that in Lagos State, now we've now dedicated that number to non-emergency, like domestic violence. If you call 767 or 112 in domestic violence, we have the domestic violence managers within our call center. We have security personnel within our call center. So if you call that number in terms of security challenges, you get a better management from that. If you are having problem with Loma, which is a gate where there is a lot of refuse deposit in that place, those are things that we call non-emergency. Although it's a life-threatening issue, is a sort of social well-being of people. You can still tap on that 767. You can still use that key. The 767 key or 112, you can still use it to open the door. So invariably, when we are looking at these governments, the governments of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, the bedrock of all this is on this 767 112. With 767 112, you can unlock anything in Lagos State.
Now, okay, let's come back to something that is very important here. Now, if we say that, so fire disaster, for instance, in Lagos, which you have attended to over in the last couple of, so why is that so, would I say prominent?
It's not
also prevalent?
Well, it's not that prominent, really. It's not that much, really, when we are looking at mega city nature of the state. But the most important thing is that let's look at it holistically. Let's look at the preparedness aspect of it. Let's look at the response aspect of it. Now, you will discover that the lacuna in all this, that the response to any form of emergency in Lagos State, fire or maybe, is always swift, prompt, effective, and efficient. Now, let's look at
since you came on board. Prior to Lasema.
That seems when these governments came on board, because I will still come to something that makes all these emergency management work in Lagos State. It's clear because the political class, the higher head, the chief executive of Lagos State, the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, have taken clear ownership and has given clear political will in ensuring that security, livelihood, life properties of the people of Lagos State is well taken care of. So from there, all what you are saying, all the network, all the branches will definitely fit into the structure he has provided.
Okay, now there's fire emergency going on in Lagos State, in the Lagos Highland now. So
I can assure you, that the response is swift, prompt, effective, and efficient.
Can you give us a time frame? Usually for your
in Lagos State today, I can beat my chest that any form of emergency will be about 10 to 30 minutes. Why are we saying 10? We are saying 10 today that the local emergency management committee has been established in all our local governments. So if any form of emergency is occurring in a locality that will have a structure in place. So the people in there will quickly move there, attend to it. Not only will they attend to it, the backup people too will move to it. And you see, it's so unique that we coordinate our emergency in Lagos State in a cyber form. As they are responding to emergency, we are looking at it holistically at our call center, where we have CCTV command control, where we have CCTV being positioned everywhere in the state. If we need to step up our activities, we will quickly define it and we step it up.
Okay, all right. Let's look at this. This is something happening in Lagos Island. Yeah, something that you attend. Okay, now so how do you deploy your team to attend to issues like this?
You see, we have sophisticated equipment. And that is why, if you look at that, I coordinated it.
Yes.
We have sophisticated equipment. You see, apart from having equipment, the point is that we have personnel that are well built, that are trained locally
and internationally,
and they are well built. They have attended to a lot of emergency. So they have the brain, they have ability to work as a team. They have the political will that has given us equipment, sophisticated equipment. I can tell you categorically that Mr. Governor has spent so much in building the capacity of his emergency services. Not only that, it is only the agency that have two technical partners to handle the fleet management. If you have this equipment, if they are not well maintained, within a short time it will run down. This equipment are sophisticated. They need high technology, they need high-tech manpower to manage it. Mr. Governor has provided that manpower to manage such equipment. Now, if you look at our command control, it's so sophisticated that we have a lot of equipment in there. Mr. Governor has provided another technical partner to manage those equipment. Our job as the gold manager is to ensure that we deploy this equipment, is to ensure that we use this equipment well coordinated, effectively and efficiently. So it makes our job good.
I know. Yeah, but I'm happy to hear that. I'm going to ask our viewers. You can see what our DG is wearing. I love this outfit here. So I'm going to ask you guys to answer one or two questions, and I will make sure he gives out this t-shirt, this beautiful t-shirt and face cap to you guys. If you can win, that is, if you can get the correct answer to some of the questions. That question will come later. But first now, what are the roots of all these emergencies and disasters that we are seeing here? Let's leave the health issues out of it. Infrastructural deficiencies, for instance. So building collapse. Why is that coming? Where is that coming from?
Now let's look at it. Now the gap, and we are trying to do a lot on that.
Yes.
Is the carelessness of our people.
Most of
this fire incident that we are talking about is the carelessness and recklessness. Now let's first of all look at the building now.
Yes.
Some of these buildings, some of these marketers, they store petrochemical inside their shops. You can imagine about a shop complex that has about 25 shops in there. Each of these shops storing 50 liters of petrochemicals that are used for their generators. So 50 times 26, that place is already a fuel stations. Now you will see where they are positioning.
Because on the screen now, the collapsed building.
Okay, when you look at this collapsed building, we have the structure in place. That when you are building your house, make sure that you inform the engineers in the local. Make sure you take proper permit. Make sure you use what the state has provided for the engineers to monitor you, to clear your plans. Do you know what people normally do? Sometimes at Obalende, we attended to a collapsed building that the physical planning has already sealed the place. Saturday and Sunday, you know, the ministry work in a structure, civil service structure. We work on Monday and Friday. Saturday, Sunday, they move there at Saturday night and Sunday night, building houses on the house that we have already said that it will fail. That's what happened. It failed. So we have to move in our manpower to rescue people. If you look at all the collapsed building, the maintenance is poor. The government has established a laboratory to check integrity. You can just check your integrity. You have to do a proper maintenance. A structure that has been there for about 5 years, that has been abandoned. People will just wake up one day because they have some money, they start building on it. This is recklessness. Now, when you look especially at $10 area, or $10 in this state, they will say that some people will say that that place is cost, there's a lot of emergency. No, it is recklessness of our people. They won't.
It's not cost.
Yeah, it's not cost. They won't maintain their vehicles very well. The drivers are not that okay. They are under not only they are not trained, they are influence of drugs, alcohol, tramadol. Not only that, they will be taking overloaded vehicles to pass that area. What will you expect? You can't be doing something that is wrong and think you are going to get your result right.
DG, now it's good you have pointed out some of these lapses or this lacuna, as you said. How do we correct that?
We'll be carrying out, you see, the point is this: we'll be carrying out all the key stakeholders, FRSC, Lasema, police, Lasema, fire services. We'll be carrying out a lot of sensitization. The government of Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu is relying more on sensitization because it's the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So we have, as a matter of urgency, established that fact that this is the problem, this is the orientation of our people, and we are doing a lot of mindset to change their orientation. That stop cutting unnecessary. They will say they are cutting corners. They are not cutting corners. They are endangering yourself. The vehicle is designated to carry 33,000 liters of petrol, and you are carrying about 50,000 liters of petrol. So when it goes to a challenge place, you will not be able to operate. You will see the driver struggling with the steering because the load that is carrying is so enormous and is endangering the public. And that is why the public too need to be observant. And you won't believe it. That is why today we are not only establishing local emergency management committee, we are going to build their capacity.
I like that. Now, in adding to that building of capacities, how would the public, for instance, alert you to the fact that we seem to have a threatening emergency or a threatening disaster or a threatening situation, either in their streets or on the road or on the rail line? Is there any way the public can get to speak to you or to alert you, like you get a cash alert now?
This is a smart city. You can call us anytime
on 767
or 112. My own number is in public domain. You can text me morning, afternoon, and night. Some people have been doing that and will be responding. You can ask the public. We have our email outside. We have our WhatsApp number outside that you can relate with us. We have local emergency management committee in place. We have school emergency management committee in place. We have hospital emergency management committee in place, and all the people that are held in it, their number are in public domain. So these are things that you need to utilize.
Okay, now so how do we deploy? Because it's important that you should assure the public, as it were. We seem to have the capacity to be on the road. We seem to have the capacity to go and help building collapse and all that. But how about rail line disasters? How about waterways? How about air?
We are there. We communicate with Lasema is the umbrella. We communicate with all the key stakeholders. Last year we have a modus of operandi. Look at when they are repairing the third mainland.
Yes.
We held a lot of meetings with the Safety Commission. The last one, we make sure that the emergency that could occur are reduced to barest minimum. So we are everywhere. When we are talking about waterways, we have our marine units.
Now,
not now. When this administration came in,
yes,
we have our marine units. When we are talking about strain, we have units that try to do monitoring and evaluation on our rail lines.
Yes.
So Lasema is everywhere, and that's why we have local emergency management committee in place.
Now, the local emergency committee, management committees, constituted by you or constituted by the local government authorities or constituted by what?
Constituted by the government. When I say government, we have local governments.
Yes.
They are part of us. The impact of any disaster is to the grassroots.
Yes.
The chairman of our local emergency management committee is also the chairman of that local government.
Oh, good. So he takes responsibility.
Yes, everybody in that committee are from that local government. The DPO of that local government is in that local emergency management committee, and the administration of Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu has also improved on that. Apart from the local emergency management committee that we have in place in our local government, we now have local emergency operation units of Lasema.
Emergency operation units
in all our local government of Lasema. What does that mean? We are going to build 12 men capacity that they will be able to respond to any form of emergency. They will be able to use our light duty equipment. They will be able to create a sort of alertness and early warning in that local government.
All right, we'll give him just a short break. We'll let him, because you see, he seems to be very excited about his responsibilities. He's saying to you that yes, emergencies in Lagos, as far as he's concerned, as far as the executive governor of Lagos State is concerned, is a prime objective for Lagos State government, and he's so excited about that. So we'll give him a break, then we'll come back, and then we'll take more questions. And then stand by to win a prize. Don't forget, I told you, if you answer the question correctly, then you can go home with this beautiful t-shirt. Stay with us.
We must dilate the eyes, we look for if they have cataract, to look at the back of their eyes, they have glaucoma, to do a full workup for them.
You will remember the insurance check over there. You will remember with Australia, kind of looking deeper than we ever looked in before to ensure that we close all the loopholes. Every edition is an arresting conversation with distinguished Nigerians from various strata of the society, bearing their minds on how we can realize the Nigeria of our dreams. Join us live on Close Flow, Monday, every week here on NT2 Lagos Network Center. Close Flow. The conversation is about you.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still Close Flow coming to you from NT2 Lagos Network Center, and we still have the Director General, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency here with us. And like I said before we went on the break, I'm going to put a bet on the table. I want one of you, or some of you, or maybe all of you, if it's possible, to take home this beautiful shirt that is wearing. It's nicely labeled shirt. You have the Lasema emblem, you have the numbers to call, you have everything. Looking very I must say, maybe I should maybe tomorrow, this is what I'm going to wear. Okay, all right, so you're going to answer one or two or three questions, and then you can win that prize. But quickly, let me just remind you again the number for you to reach us and be a part of this conversation. If you're going to make a voice call, call 080-5975-3044. Let me say that again, 080-5975-3044. If your voice message is not getting through, then use SMS. Just drop us a text message so we can ask him that question or make your comment known to him. And that SMS number is 080-6350-8434. Let me say that again, 080-6350-8434. Please be a part of this conversation, because this program is all about you. He has said something about preparing you, letting you know how to respond to emergencies. Now quickly, here is Bidemi from Ilupeju. Bidemi says, excellent morning to you, excellent DG. You say it takes 10 to 30 minutes for you to respond. Earlier this year, there was a guy hit by a car on the expressway at Obanikoro. The man landed close to our church at Obanikoro. I was at the church for a night vigil rehearsal with other church members. When the incident happened, we called the lines 112 and 767. Okay, they asked for details. We told them, but they never came. The said man was unconscious and looked like he shouldn't be moved anyhow. Anyhow, people now came, emergency response never came, but other people now came not to respond to the issue. I was highly disappointed because there have been a lot of awareness regarding the emergency issues in Lagos and all that, and yet They call the lines and no response.
You see, the point is this, that people need to realize. That's why we are talking about local emergency management and the local level Lasema operation unit. It's not all the time you will see Lasema vehicle going responding. You will see our local people responding. We have them in our numbers. So if you call us like that case, the people that is saying that they responded are part of us.
Okay, but they may not be wearing Lasema.
They may not be wearing the full-fledged Lasema cloth. You get what I'm trying to say? But these are the people that have been trained at the local level. And we are still working on them. Right now, we are still working on them because it's one of the initiative of our platinum member. And that our platinum member is our first lady, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu. She was the one that initiated this local emergency operation unity. There is difference between Lasema emergency committee and operational units in each of our local government, and we have commenced building their capacity. So you might not see us, you might not see the main Lasema, because you see Lasema deals with disaster, major disaster, something that will lead to disaster. We can't just deploy our resources anyhow. So when we have something like incident like that, we will call on our local emergency operation unit to move to the scene.
Like the scene we are witnessing here right now.
Yes,
an accident victim here.
Yes, we will call our Lasema operating unit in that local government to move to the scene. So you might not see the ambulance, the vehicle, the everything. You might see members of our team. They are members of our team because we train them. But if they can't handle it, then they will now invite us. That's the way we operate, and that is why we can be bold. And I say it loud and clear again. That's why we can be bold and say it categorically that our response in Lagos State is 10 to 30 minutes, and by the grace of God, before the end of this year, we are going to move it to 5.
Okay, 5 minutes.
Yes,
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Any viewer there who wants to actually query the Director General on that, 5 minutes response time to any emergency.
5 to 10.
Okay, all right.
We are going to move it.
Okay,
before the end of this year, we are going to move it 5 to 10.
So what other goals do we want to achieve for 2021? Because you already set one.
You see, the major lacuna now in Lagos State is not about responding to emergency.
It's about preventing.
It's about preventing. It's about changing the attitude of our people, changing the orientation of our people. And Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu has identified that. And we are now channeling our energy to that. And what we are going to do, we are going to see us carrying out a lot of sensitization. We are going to carry out disseminating a lot of information and
orientation.
Yes, orientation. And finally, which is the last one, we will carry out enforcement. Yes, we are working with the Ministry of Justice. We will use the cane if need be. Yes,
the carrot and the cane. So the carrot will be the information going to sharing, and then
yes, it's going to be in two ways: the carrot and the cane. We will ensure that we emphasize more on the carrot. And what are the carrots we are going to put in place? Dissemination of information, sensitization, building the capacity at the local level, ensuring that all our markets have a market emergency committee that goes around, that train people that you should not be storing fuel inside your district. Don't forget, the way you'll be managing emergencies has to be a forensic issue. That's why we say that this way we control the place up, we have CCTV everywhere, we will monitor it, we will look at it holistically, and the defaulter will be well punished.
Okay, now so in terms of numbers, sociologists have said that without the numbers you cannot actually attend to a problem. We have, okay, look at this incident now. All these tankers,
yes,
not well packed, on the trailers, and they fall off on the road and injure people. So what is the response to this?
It's carelessness. Not only
same thing you're saying that again, yes.
Not only carelessness, it's recklessness. You have an articulated vehicle that is not well maintained and you are carrying these tons of this. You have an articulated vehicle that's supposed to carry about 20 tons and you are carrying 40 tons. We have drivers that is under the influence of drug and you are allowing it to drive your vehicle, and they will be driving, they will be speeding anyhow, they will be competing with themselves. We are taking pictures. The Lasema are taking pictures. The security personnel are taking pictures. We will look at it holistically and the defaulter will be punished.
You're going to get to that. Okay, now, how many, can we look at numbers? What can we, well, in terms of figures that you have attended to, so how pathetic, or how, would you say our situation is pathetic?
Well,
if you look at the numbers.
It's pathetic. We are using a lot of effort to get all these containers outside. Look at what happened yesterday. Look at
hello, yes, I think we have a call. Hello. We lost that call. Sorry about that.
Look at what's happened at Badagry.
Yes.
Yesterday. Look at what happened. A trailer that's supposed to carry 30,000, it's supposed to carry about 30,000 liters, is carrying about 40,000 liters. You will see black in there. You know, you can see all the tires already. We've carried out a lot of enlightenment. We've carried out a lot of sensitization that you can still get results by making sure that you maintain your vehicle than exposing to people to be vulnerable to fire disaster, kind of this incident. To me, believe me, I will say that it's pathetic, because you see all this heavy duty equipment that you see that we are using, before we could deploy it out, is enormous. The type of driver that are driving it, they are professionals. The vehicle itself needs to be maintained. The petrol, the petrol that you need to fuel it is a lot. It's the taxpayers' money.
That comes again to another issue of funding. So how happy are you about the fact that, are you well funded? Are you appreciatively, do you think that the funding that you are getting actually,
but everybody will say Oliver Twist, but I can say categorically this government of Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu is doing his best
so far.
Not so far. From the start, he has ensured that he built the capacity of the personnel of Lasema in terms of equipment. He has ensured that the team of his administration lies on the bedrock that was provided by Lasema. He has ensured that he engaged professionals that will train Lasema personnel and still perform work, having 2 technical partners dealing with the key aspects of Lasema. Fleet management, we have technical partners for that. In terms of our equipment, the cyber, the 767, the 112, we have professionals that are there. With that, it created employment for some people. It ensured that Lasema staff are on their toes. Not only Lasema staff alone, all the primary stakeholders that are important in managing emergency, like the ambulance services, like the fire services, like safety commission, physical planning, LAPSCA. So these are people that are being trained in emergency management. Now, kudos to this administration.
Kudos to the administration, yes.
And not only that, the first lady too is involved. So you can see that everybody that is important in Lagos State, including the commissioner, including the SA, the first lady office, the council, the state government, the state executive, they are all involved in ensuring safety of life and properties in Lagos State.
Okay, let's see if we can get a winner. We want to see if we can get a winner. Some of our viewers, please, the numbers that you can call for emergency. If you can quickly text us or call us to let us know the numbers you can call for emergencies. Quickly, okay? We count down for you now. If you can't reach us in the next 10 minutes, then you have lost it. Now, what is imperative to you in delivering some of the set goals for 2021? What are the imperatives that you are saying to yourselves, you must have this to deliver on some of the things you set as goals for 2021?
Now, the most important thing that is very important for us, which is very germane, is the orientation of our people.
We need to change our mindset.
We need to change our mindset. Our mindset feeds us. If we get something, if we prepare our mindset, we are going to get good results. Some people, they will be calling our 112-767 unnecessarily. When you call us, when we go our 112-767 unnecessarily, we deploy personnel there, you waste their time. You waste people that need to call.
It
was a false alarm. Now, I need to emphasize, and this is what is happening now. I need to emphasize now that if you call us outside Lagos radius, outside Lagos environment, if you call us in Ibafo and you thought that we will be able to attend to you, no. If you call us at Ibafo, that is Ogun State's territory.
Yes.
It will go to their own command control center. They call it, they don't call it command control center.
Yes.
They call it call center. It will go there. Some people will always confuse that if you call 112, it's supposed to be Lasema, but if you call 112 and you are not calling it in Lagos State territorial, we will be able to respond. It will be a good Ogun State,
wherever the captive is.
Wherever the captive are. So the most important thing for us to achieve our goal in 2021 is the orientation of our people. We must, and that is what we are working for, we must ensure that the orientation of our people are well defined and tally to safety measures. And that is why in this state we have safety commission. Yes, if they deal with the early warning, with the preparedness aspect of emergency management.
Yes.
I can 100% assure you that if we get a positive orientation of our people, all what we are talking about, disaster in Lagos State, will be 90% reduced.
Okay, great. That's good news that we are sharing with the public. But now Lagos, like you said, is a smart city. So how smart are we in terms of responses to emergencies?
I've just said that Mr. Governor have appointed a technical partner.
Yes, we have a technical partner. Yes.
When we are looking at the drones, we have drones everywhere. We have CCTV everywhere. We have monitoring CCTV vehicles everywhere. We have sophisticated equipment. When we are talking about sophisticated light duty equipment, we have it. When we are talking about sophisticated heavy duty equipment, we have it. When we are talking about digital, well-oriented, technological wise manpower, we have it, and we are still training them. So when we are looking at us as a smart thing, we are super. Today and very soon, we are going to launch another Lasema response unit, which is a sort of dispatch center at Eke area. And you know that if you look at what is in a environment, where we have the refinery being built, we have the Lekki zone, we have a lot of industry. So in that region alone, in that Lagos East alone, we have 3 effective Lasema response units on the ground. We have one in Agbawa, we have one in Epe, we have one in Lekki Junction that could attend to a lot of emergency. There was a time some people asked me a question that, the Dangote is developing a good refinery center. He has a lot of fighters there. He has a lot of fighting equipment there. And I said categorically, good, is a kudos. But the most important thing is that they need to key into the incident command control chain of the state. You might have the equipment, but what about the capacity, the manpower? I've attended to more than 30,000 various emergency. You can't buy that in a day. And likewise, my team, the zonal coordinators, they've attended to a lot of emergency. It's not only equipment, it's manpower. The Lagos State has developed a sort of robust manpower that they have trained locally and internationally. Not only that, they have attended to a lot of various emergency, like tanker overturn, container overturn. It's not the day we develop such things. So in Lagos State, Cosmopolitan, Metropolitan, disaster management, emergency management is everyone business.
Okay, now let's come back to that because that's very key. Pandemic is almost out of here now. We should be grateful to our Heavenly Father that is almost over, across the country. But you are part of the Ebola response team. Now, this pandemic, happily, let's say happily, we did not get to see too many incidences on the road. Were you prepared for this?
Definitely. Lagos State is well prepared. The Chief Executive Officer of Lagos State, Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Oluwafemi, is well prepared. We have what we call incident command control chain in place. Command control chain in place.
And who are these officers there?
You see, the point is that the incident command control chain happens to be the incident commander itself is Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Oluwafemi. He has co-opted all the key stakeholders to be at one level. So we have roles and responsibilities well defined. So everybody knows their roles, everybody knows their responsibility, there is no overlapping. So you can see that our response is not only well coordinated, is effective and efficient. And that is why, despite the fact that Lagos State is exposed to complications of this coronavirus, we are quickly able to deploy manpower, equipment, judicial use of taxpayers' money, and that's why we're able to kick it out.
Okay, now let's come back to what is interesting about Lagos, or why Lagos should be a destination point for many people. Going into this the new futures that we are looking at. So, Mr. Governor has a theme agenda.
Yes.
How is Lasema part of that theme agenda?
We are looking at the theme agenda of Mr. Governor, the traffic, the transportation.
Yes.
Lasema is part of the road recovery, this thing removing container from the road. When we are looking at the health, Lasema plays
you see how all this load of containers on that Apapa access.
If you look at what was there before this administration comes in, you will discover that it was enormous. And because of the aggressiveness of this government to remove the container, you can see the SA transportation and SA transport, SA honorable commissioner and his team, the Lasema, working 24 hours. Yesterday we are all on the ground. So it has not been that easy. When you are looking at the entertainment, we have local emergency management committee in place working with the entertainment people to ensure the safety of their local government. When we are talking about security, we have a good robust command control chain in place. We are partnering with all the security agencies. So when we are looking at the team agenda of Mr. Governor, I can say bold and loud, Lasema provided the bedrock, because Lasema is the agency that is saddled to coordinate, to prepare, to respond to any form of emergency in Lagos State.
Now, you have been a pioneer in several areas, especially since 2010 when you started this emergency business. So, how satisfied are you with what? Do you think? Are you satisfied with your achievement?
It can still be better.
That's being honest.
Yeah, I'm being honest. It can still be better, because if you look at the mission and the theme of this administration, that Lagos State should be smartest in Africa. We are not talking about Nigeria. We are not local champion. We are not talking about Nigeria, because we still assisted our sister states. We are not talking about West Africa. We are there. But we are talking about Africa. We are talking about the world. And that's why you will see Lagos State government building their capacity from the scratch. Medical doctor. When we are talking about the emergency or disaster management, the Lagos State government builds my own capacity. They expose me to local trade, they expose me to international trade, they expose me to UK trade, America, Israel, and that's how we've been building the capacity of our people. Right now, I'm taking some people to Germany to go and understudy what is going on in Germany. The Lagos State is not relating. We are building the manpower of our people.
Okay, now in terms of cooperation, you have already said you have technical, support, in 2 areas. Now, I'm just wondering, why are you limiting that technical support to just 2 areas?
Because that is the core value. When we are looking at the core value that you can have challenge, is fleet management. If you use that kind of equipment and you are giving that vehicle to sideways mechanics, within a short time, it will get out of the of operation. We don't want it to get out of operation. We don't want driver that we don't know how to manage so sophisticated, because they are very, very costly. So we have technical people that are managing our fleet. Now, if you come to our command control, we spend billions of naira to upgrade it. We don't want anybody to just use it anyhow. We have technical partners that are not only going to be using those equipment, they will be training our personnel on how to use it, so that we just don't expose anybody to our equipment. We want our equipment to last long, for the people of Lagos State to enjoy it.
Okay, let's go beyond what is immediate, that is Lagos State. So is Lasema, poised to actually service other states if emergency requires?
We've been doing that. When there was a flood at Ibadan,
yes,
and they are looking for manpower to give them a clear road map how to solve it, we were there to assist them. When
Lasema went as far as your state?
Yes, we were there to assist them. At Edo State, we are there to assist them. We even provided them personnel that is going to assist them to kickstart, to pioneer their state emergency management agency. The SEMA at Abuja has visited us to see what we are doing. The SEMA at Kaduna has visited us to see what we are doing. The SEMA at Ekiti has visited us to see what we are doing. When in Ogun State, we are working with them. In fact, we are hoping that they will allow us to perform very well in this Lagos Ogun commission that they've set up. Yes, because most of the time, most of the emergency at Ibafo and they always call us to move in there. So we are looking forward that they should use our expertise that are on the ground for them to develop their emergency response at Ogun State. Now, and as far back as federal level, I have taken what we call leave of absence. I've been a special advisor monitoring and evaluation of IDP, which we contributed enormous to. I have been a senior technical advisor on disaster risk reduction, and with that, I pioneer what they call national early warning response of West Africa at the federal level. And I use what the Lagos State exposed me to. That knowledge is what I used to attend to all this thing.
Okay, now let's come back home again, because it's very good. I'll ask my viewers to please remind us again the emergency numbers you needed to call so you can win a prize. Nobody has called yet. That means that t-shirt I have to take it from the DG myself. That's the one. I'm the one winning the prizes. Now, quickly, doctor, as a medic, I mean, it's important now that we should look at. So, on health issues now, for instance, do we have response to emergency for health issues, critical health issues?
We do. Let's look at Lagos State itself. You see, there's a law in Lagos State that all the victims of emergency stroke disaster for the first 24 hours will be treated free of charge. That's number one, which is critical. Secondly, Lagos State has done something that is very unique. They have emergency accident and emergency units on our major roadway, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, where they could easily attend to victims of emergency on the road or along that way. Not only that, we have emergency points located strategically all over the states. We have one along the toll gate, we have one on the toll mainland, we have one at Abule-Egba, we have one at Antony, we have one at Mobile, we have one in Badagry. The point is this: we realize our challenges that go slow. Lagos State is metropolitan, cosmopolitan, go slow, road traffic could occur. So we move our emergency services to the ground, to the people, close to the people.
All right.
This is unique.
DG, I'm sorry, I think we need to extend our time on close to anytime we are going to host him, because he seems to have a lot of information to want to share with the public. But I'm sorry to say that we have to just let you go today. That means you have to bring it back again.
Anytime, any day. For the people of Lagos State, for Nigeria,
yes,
to save lives and properties, to key in into the mission of Mr. Governor. I will always be there.
Thank you very much. For our viewers, the conversation is never over on Close Flow. Please go to all our social media platforms and be sure that you did not win the prize. That's sad. I'm going to take the prize from him. But just go to our social media platforms and make sure you send in or share your comments or your thoughts, about what the Director General of Lagos State Emergency Service has already shared with us today. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.